the United States Army Band, Pershing's Own, presents a Army Garrison. Before today's review begins, the United States Army Band, Pershing's Own, presents a pre-ceremonial concert featuring the following musical selections: French National de la Fille March and the Patton theme song. Ladies and gentlemen, the United States Army Band.
Pushing zone. 10. Jump. Trumpet sound attention. Trumpet.
Once again, good afternoon and welcome. Today, the United States Army Military District of Washington, represented by the soldiers of the 3rd United States Infantry Regiment, the Old Guard, and the United States Army Band, Pershing's Own, pay a special tribute to Lieutenant General Joseph P. Mcgee, Director for Strategy, Plans and Policy, Joint Staff Senior Member, United States Delegation to the United Nations Military Staff Committee, who is retiring after 36 years of distinguished service to the United States Army and our nation. Participating in today's review, from left to right, is the United States Army Band Pershing's Own. Formed in 1922 by then Army Chief of Staff General John J. Blackjack Pershing, the United States Army Band is the premier band of our senior service. Pershing's Own provides musical support for ceremonies and special events in our nation's capital and throughout the United States. The United States Army Band is under the direction of First Lieutenant Bernardo Mite and led by Drum Major Daniel Ord. Elements of the Old Guard include Honor Guard Company, commanded by Captain Taylor Massa and led by First Sergeant Shane Grinder. Next on line is Doghouse Company, commanded by Captain Sean McAvoy and led by First Sergeant Joshua Plant. Next on line is Headhunters Company, commanded by Captain Kevin Malone and led by First Sergeant Dylan Eby. Following is the Commander-in-Chief's Guard, patterned after the unit created by General George Washington in 1776 to be his personal guard. The Commander-in-Chief's Guard is commanded by Captain Sean Martin and led by Sergeant First Class Daniel Chavez. The last element on line, dressed in the Continental Musician's uniform, is the United States Army Old Guard Fife and Drum Corps. During the American Revolution, musicians wore the reverse colors of their parent infantry unit. The men and women of the United States Army Old Guard Fife and Drum Corps maintained this tradition by wearing red coats instead of the infantry blue. The Corps is led today by Drum Major Tyler Halderman. Ladies and gentlemen, moving into position is the commander of troops for today's ceremony, Colonel Thomas Kilbride, Commander, 3rd United States Infantry Regiment, the Old Guard. Since the days of the American Revolution, the colors have been one of the most important elements of a military unit. Therefore, taking the center of our formation in just a moment, and bearing the national color, is the nation's foremost color team, the 3rd Infantry's Continental Color Guard, led by Staff Sergeant Eric Drizwicki. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the advancing of the colors.
Advance the colors. Bird. Mark.
Please be seated.
Step. Left. Face. Color. Ready. Color. Color. Dress center. Dress. Officer. Just said guard. Dress. Color. Ready. Color. Officer. Ready. Pro.
The history of the 3rd United States Infantry Regiment reflects the growth and development of our nation. 55 well-earned battle streamers, 2 Valorous Unit Awards, 3 Meritorious Unit Commendations, and 5 Superior Unit Awards attest to the Old Guard's record of bravery in action and achievements during peacetime. In 1922, the War Department granted permission for the Old Guard to pass in review with bayonets fixed. The Old Guard will now fix bayonets to the traditional beat of the drum.
Sound. Fix. Bayonet. Ready. Cut.
Ladies and gentlemen, taking the reviewing stand is the reviewing official for today's ceremony, Lieutenant General Joseph Mcgee, accompanied by the host, General Dan Kane, the 22nd Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as honors are rendered and remain standing for the invocation delivered by Major General Thomas Soljum, United States Army, retired.
cook. Up, ready. Ready. Rest. And 1 and 2. Up, ready. Rest.
Ladies and gentlemen, Major General Thomas Soljum.
It is my distinct honor to open this ceremony in a word of prayer. Please join me. God of all eternity, I praise you for your watchful eye and guiding hand over our nation's people. I ask for your divine protection over those who serve to defend and preserve our precious freedoms at home and abroad. We gather today in this very special retirement ceremony to recognize and thank your servant, Lieutenant General J.P. Mcgee, for his faithful and dedicated 36 years of service to the nation, the Army, and our military. I know that he is exceedingly grateful for the support of his loving and devoted wife, Kate, children Aiden and Emma, his son Patrick, and parents Arthur and Lorette, who are with him in spirit, and the many friends, mentors, leaders gathered here today to honor this truly great American for his selfless service to our country. Lord, you have been there over the years, guiding, empowering, leading, molding, and shaping the man of integrity who stands before us today. As a leader and a warrior in the crucible of combat and in seasons of preparation, JP exhibited the finest in leadership acumen, character, and competence. His love for you, his country, and those he served are the marks of excellence in his distinguished career of service to the nation. Lord, I recognize at this point of transition for JP and Kate, it can feel like stepping off into uncharted territory. I pray that you will reassure them of your abiding presence as they chart a new course in their journey together. May they be fueled by the memories, friendships, joys, and challenges of military life that will serve to be their foundation and strength in the road ahead. God, you remind us that our plans don't end when our careers do. Instead, you promise us that you have plans for our entirety of our days, and the best chapters are yet to be written by your loving hand. As you have been faithful in the past, I have every confidence that it will be there to guide JP and Kate into a hope-filled and prosperous future. Lord, bless my dear friends today with the assurance that serving you and others is the key to real joy and fulfillment. Give them the strength of your Spirit for the journey ahead. I ask and pray all these things in the name of our God, his Son, and his Spirit, who offer life both now and forevermore. Amen.
Please be seated.
Sound up. Cook. Hold guard. Head, chop. 1 and 2. Cook. Right shoulder. Oh. Ready, cut.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the advancing of the colors and remain standing for the singing of the United States National Anthem by Staff Sergeant Ian Kelly.
Colors. Forward. March. Sir, first to be honored and colors are present.
Shoulder, firelocks,
And 1 and 2 and 3. Present. Arm. And 1 and 2 and 3. Attachment. Present. Arms.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Detachment. Order. Arms.
Please be seated. General Kane is now moving into position to honor today's retiree and spouse. By order of the Secretary of the Army, the Distinguished Service Medal is awarded to Lieutenant General Joseph Mcgee for exceptionally meritorious service as the Director for Strategy, Plans, and Policy J5, the Joint Staff from May 2024 to January 2026. During a period of sustained global instability and complex security challenges, Lieutenant General McGee's visionary leadership and strategic acumen were instrumental in advancing the United States national defense objectives. He led the development and execution of a comprehensive department-wide and allied campaign to build the future Ukrainian armed forces, significantly enhancing regional deterrence. His strategic insights shaped senior leader decision-making across the Middle East and Africa, and his leadership was pivotal to the successful defense of Israel during the 12-day war with Iran. His operational expertise enabled the precise U.S. strikes of Iranian nuclear infrastructure during Operation Midnight Hammer. Lieutenant General McGee directed the drafting and implementation of the Nuclear Posture Review and led the Joint Staff Readiness Reviews of the nation's most critical war plans, culminating in the development of the Strategic Planning Framework. His extraordinary accomplishments reflect great credit upon himself, the United States Army, and the Department of War. Signed, Brigadier General Adam Smith, the Adjutant General, United States Army. Headquarters, Department of the Army Special Orders. By order of the Secretary of the Army, the following general officer is retired. Lieutenant General Joseph Mcgee. General Kane is now presenting the United States flag to Lieutenant General McGee for his faithful service to his country. On the occasion of retirement of this distinguished soldier, we also recognize the outstanding service of Mrs. Catherine Mcgee, who is being presented with a Distinguished Public Service Medal. Mrs. Catherine Mcgee distinguished herself in support of soldiers, families, and veterans of the United States Army from May 2016 through December 2025. Mrs. Mcgee's exemplary volunteer leadership and unwavering dedication significantly strengthened the well-being and resilience of the military communities across multiple regions. Her steadfast commitment, compassion, and leadership have had a lasting impact on the United States Army community. Mrs. Mcgee's dedicated and selfless service reflect great credit upon herself, the United States Army, and the nation she so faithfully supports. Signed, the Honorable Daniel Driscoll, 26th Secretary of the Army. On the occasion of retirement of this distinguished soldier, we also recognize the outstanding service of Mrs. Catherine Mcgee, who is being presented with the Department of the Army Certificate of Appreciation for her faithful and devoted service. It is dedicated support which made possible such a lasting contribution to our nation. Signed, General Randy A. George, Chief of Staff of the Army. At this time, Lieutenant General Mcgee is presenting flowers to Mrs. Mcgee, signifying his love by honoring her for her unwavering support. He is also presenting a gift to his son Aiden and flowers to his daughter Emma for their devotion and patience for his continual service throughout their lives. We are proud to recognize Lieutenant General Mcgee and his family's devotion to our country, and we wish them happiness and prosperity in their well-earned retirement.
Hold guard. Hold. 10, top. 1 and 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the posting of the colors.
Post the colors. Staff. Right. Face.
Please be seated.
Staff. Left. Face. Passive review.
On guard. Pass in review. Right.
Left.
Face. Right. Shoulder.
Right. Wheel.
Arm. Advance. Far left.
And one, and two.
Front hand goes to rear.
4 steps.
March.
1, 2, 3, 4, 4.
Bounce. Forward. March.
Ladies and gentlemen, General Kane.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's awesome to always be out of the Pentagon, to see the incredible dedication and discipline of the Old Guard and Pershing Zone. Thank you for everybody back there behind the scenes for your professionalism and commitment to honoring our nation, our veterans, our fallen, and an incredible great American, Lieutenant General J.P. Mcgee and his family. A round of applause for all these great soldiers out here. JP, Kate, Aiden, Emma, Secretary West, General Anderson, General Hartman, Secretary Obadal, General Mingus, General Ryan, General McChrystal, General Rodriguez, General Pappas, General Brito, SEAC, ISOM, SMA Weimer, CSM Banfield, distinguished guests, Joint Staff, friends, and family, good afternoon. And thank you for being here today to celebrate an extraordinary journey by two of my favorite people in the world, JP and his bride, Kate. Let's give them a giant round of applause today, please. JP, I am so incredibly humbled to be asked to be a part of your graduation day today, to help honor you and your family as you move into the next chapter of a giant book of life. And it has been so fun and honorable for us in the Joint Staff and the rest of the 2.8 million members of the Joint Force to spend just a wee bit of time, to quote Harv Smith, with you in this most recent job that you've had. This really is a graduation. I hate the word retire for somebody like you, because all of us throughout this entire hall who know and love you know that your journey of service in some ways is just getting started. And I can tell you clearly and unambiguously that the next chapter of your life, dude, is awesome. I know this firsthand. Today is about celebrating you, JP, and the incredible gifts that you've given us through your service, your leadership of over 35 and a half years as a leader in our United States Army and our Joint Force. JP, all of us who've had the chance to know you know what an extraordinary human you are. You've shaped commands, developed warriors, prioritized the most precious gift we have in our American military with unprecedented love every single day, going all in. And that is, most importantly, our soldiers, and I start with the Army first, but our sailors, airmen, Marines, guardians, warriors across the Joint Force who've all benefited through the love and care that you've poured into all of us, my friend. And we are so much better because of you and your family. And before I go on, though, and on about your accomplishments, your leadership, your legacy, I want to welcome and recognize those people who are, without a doubt, the most important people in the world to you, and that is your family. As I look out in the stands today, over in this big chunk over here off your right shoulder, it looks like we've got the entire Mcgee clan here, and I use that word on purpose, supporting JP and Kate as you graduate, because servant leaders like you get there through the help and love of those who pour into you. And that example of service really started with your grandfather, who served as a captain in the field artillery in France during World War I. He shared his wartime experiences with your father, Arthur, and encouraged your dad to attend West Point, a place that you know a little bit about, class of 1990. Is anybody here from the class of 1990? I'll come back to that, I think, in a little bit. There's another school that I want to talk a little bit. But when your dad graduated in 1950, he made one of the best decisions, JP, that I think a man can make, and that is he joined the United States Air Force instead of the Army, and served across Europe and the U.S. as part of the then early Titan ballistic missile program. Your mom, Loretta, served as well as a military spouse. She was a lifelong servant of her family and community, and was a second mom to so many people, your friends, your family, your siblings. She wrote letters to soldiers while they were deployed, reminding them of what service really meant, and she volunteered along the way. It's so clear that you got so many of these incredible values and virtues that you demonstrate by the way that you walk through your life from these great humans, your parents. And I know they're looking down from up above today with an incredible sense of pride. I can feel it as I know you so well. It's clear they raised you, your brother, and your sisters to value faith, family, and service. And it's really no surprise that you were called to serve. So to your parents, thank you. Thank you for the incredible gift of a perfect example that they gave you. And let's give your folks a round of applause. To the extended Mcgee clan that flew from, frankly, all over the world, Spain, Ireland, the East Coast, the West Coast, and everywhere in between, your sister Kathleen and her husband John, your brother James, his wife Natalie, brother-in-laws Rick, Matt, Patrick, Aunt Pete, Uncle Jack, Aunt Beatty, and all the nieces and nephews that it was just so awesome to meet in the back room back there. Ma'am, we're not going through your purse like you asked me about back there. She was a little family joke there. Thank you for the love and support that you've given JP and Kate over the years. A service life is the road less traveled, and we can't do it without the love and care of our broader family. There's long hours, there's chapters away from home, but I know JP and Kate have been incredibly grateful for your support and your sacrifice. I'd also like to thank your kids, JP, Patrick, Aiden, and Emma. Thank you for the love and care that you've poured into your dad. I know Patrick is watching today with a heart full of pride for his dad, for his brother, for his sister. And I know he's extraordinarily proud of his dad as his dad graduates today into the next chapter of his life. Cadet Mcgee, Aiden, we're excited to see you, my friend, following in your dad's footsteps to become an incredible leader in your own right. I know you got a 4.0 GPA last semester. This is something that your dad and I only dreamed about when we were at school, which is incredible. I know your dad's very proud of you, but of course the big thing that Eagle 6 is even more proud is those air assault wings that don your chest, and they look as good on you, my friend, as you think they do. So congratulations on getting through air assault school. Emma, I know you're working through college applications, carefully weighing your options on what path you will take in your journey of service. And I want to share now that there's a school in Lexington, Virginia, down in the Shenandoah Valley that has a small rivalry with West Point. It's called Virginia Military Institute. Undersecretary Obadal went there. We welcome you if you choose to go to VMI instead of that other school to the north. Aiden, dude, it's not too late for you either if you want to come in the Air Force. Military kids deserve so much credit. It's hard, right? You watch your dad go off to war, you watch him serve, he makes sacrifices, but know that we see in you the strength and courage that we see in your dad. And you all, along with Kate, have served and sacrificed for this nation for the entirety of your lives. I want you to know we see this, we feel it, and we thank you. And a round of applause for Kate, Patrick, Aiden, and Emma. So. Kate, most of all, we want to recognize and thank you. You've given so much to this country, to this Army, to the Joint Force during your service for supporting JP and our soldiers in the Joint Force for years. We know that you're a diehard Steelers fan, and we mourn the recent loss by the Steelers, but we will not hold that against anybody here, because it's plain to see that you've been an incredible source of strength for JP during the good times and during the tough times. And anybody that spent 5 minutes around the two of you know that the foundation of love, care, and mutual support that you have for each other is endless. You were a lighthouse during some tough times for the family. The loss of Patrick, the long hours that we demanded of JP, all while managing an incredible career in your own right. I think you've probably spent more time on an airplane than any of us, and we just appreciate so much the sacrifice, care, love, courage, tenacity, grit that you've shown for all of us. We really struggle to find the words to say thank you, but please know how much we see and appreciate you. So let's all stand up and give Kate a standing ovation and a round of applause. Awesome. JP, yesterday I started to get emails and text messages. I received an email from Air Chief Marshal Sir Harvey Smith, who I think captures what we all feel right now. So I'm just, rather than summarize, I'm just going to read it, and I'm not going to do it in Harv's messed up Northern Irish accent. Hey, JP, I'm so sorry that I could not make it today, but I'm incredibly thankful to get to say a few words on my behalf, for the chairman to say a few words on my behalf. Firstly, I'd be disappointed as a former commander of the 101st Airborne Division that you're not right now sitting astride a horse. Regardless, I wanted to offer you my many congratulations on a superb career, and more importantly, say a heartfelt thank you for being a brilliant partner. Your support to both the United Kingdom as a nation and to me personally has been second to none. During some of the most testing scenarios, I've always enjoyed our straightforward candor, humor, and most of all, our steadfast friendship. I always knew you had my back. Signed, Sir Harv. I also got notes from Rob Lyman, who wanted me to say hello, and many, many others who extend their best. And it's so clear, JP, as we look across this great hall, so many people feel the same way. I see friends, teammates, classmates of your incredible life, your best friends since second grade, friends and company mates from the class of 1990. And of course, the entirety of the J5, who I think is here, and we're not doing any war planning right now because we're all here hanging out with you. But seriously, all these people are here today, my friend, because of you, because of all of us generally loving you, respecting and appreciating you, and all that you've poured into us. They love you, we love you because you love us, and because you've always lived the fundamental truth we have in this business, that humans are always more important than hardware. My friend, you have never, ever, ever made this about you. It has always been about others. The incredible men and women who wear the cloth of our nation and our Army, and their families that serve alongside them. But today, it's your graduation day, so I'm going to ask you to indulge us a little bit so we can talk just a little bit about what we see in the gift of a great example that you give us, which I know, man, in your core, you do not like being talked about. From your earliest days, it's always been about service. Service to our people, service to our nation, stories and lessons handed down from your grandfather and your father illuminated a path of clear purpose that you chose to follow through the entirety of your adult life. And along your path of service, from the first moment you reported as a plebe up there at that other school in a red sash, you committed to excellence, except academically. We have that together to share. Both as a leader and as a member of the profession of arms, you cared always about your soldiers. You cared always about our people. You've always been one who needed to be prepared so that you would earn the honor of being the leader of those people that were blessed to be under your charge and under your command. It is something that is so incredibly endearing and something that we see every single day in the way that you lead and the way that you serve. From commanding inside the 82nd Airborne Division and then the Ranger Regiment right after September 11th, 8 deployments in 5 years with the regiment and JSOC, you were surrounded by great examples of service and leadership. Leaders like Colonel Kevin Owens, General Charlie Flynn, General Stan McChrystal, Admiral Bill McCraven, General Joe Votel, just to name a few, and incredible NCOs like CSM Hugh Roberts, Sergeant Major Ted Kennedy, Sergeant Major Bill Staher, Master Sergeant Al Buford, and so many other NCOs that poured into you because they saw in you what we still see to this day. Those leaders showed you what real battlefield leadership looked like, setting the standard for you to follow for the rest of your Army career. Tenacity, grit, courage, determination, and love. You know that if you want to get the best out of people, you got to inspire them. You need to challenge them, and you need to take care of them and their families. And as D.A. Sims, I don't know if D.A. is here, but he once gave me a pamphlet that said, as Marshall said early on, leadership is based on the knowledge of men. And you have always taken the time to understand people. You did that every step of the way, JP. 15 months in Samara's No Slack 6, then again as a brigade commander leading the battered bastards of Bastogne in Afghanistan, and then finally, and so fittingly, as the division commander of America's 101st Airborne Division, leading the Screaming Eagles at the edge of freedom as Russia attempted to move across that flank. For those keeping score, as far as I can tell, you are the first commanding general ever in the 101st to deploy as a commander at the battalion, brigade, and division level since that incredible organization, that incredible command was founded in 1942. The first one ever. You always disrupted the status quo. You were never satisfied with good enough, so you challenged your formations, your soldiers, and yourself, as the Pilgrim poem says, to always go just a little